Let's move on to the next ad.
Yeah, this is a 1993 Gibson
I have been seeing this everywhere.
Headless SG.
This is in all the groups.
This was sent to our email by Tim Cornfield, so he gets the credit for it. This is a Headless SG. They're asking $2,500 on Reverb. Here's the description. It's long, but that's okay because reading is fundamental.
The guitar is long?
No, the description is long.
Oh, the description is long.
I don't know why they described the case first.
Skip that part.
The guitar is an internet legend, the guitar meme, if you will. Photos of this mythical guitar surfaced around 2011 and since then, this guitar has wound up on every top 10 strange guitars list that's ever been published. I don't think it was on the Guitar Nerd's top 10 strange guitar list.
Who knows?
Until today, no one really knew if this was a real guitar or if it was just an awesome Photoshop job. How did I find it? Well, I made a Would You Rock or Not video on my YouTube channel about this guitar a while ago, and the owner reached out to me. I bought it for the purpose of documenting it. The internet needed answers. Oh, this is from the Trogleys Guitar Show.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with that channel.
I don't know anything about
I heard, I heard someone, I think, talking about the show recently that this guy goes out of his way to buy like really rare or weird or like just ugly guitars, and like he plays them, like that's his whole thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
And he's like apparently super knowledgeable about like, oh, I got this piece. This is the 1 year that they used, the flathead screw instead of the Phillips screw or whatever.
Right.
Like he's like super like
And then he compares it to a guitar that has a Phillips screw to see what the sound is.
No, I have no idea, but I heard
Something
about
like that,
this.
yeah.
I've
heard about
watched
that
but
recently
anyway,
too.
I bought it for the purpose of documenting it. Blah, blah, blah. This is 1993 Gibson SG that suffered 2 headstock breaks. Since there was so much wood missing from the headstock, the new owner of the guitar decided to make the Headless SG instead of repairing it again. The original headstock veneer was glued to the body, and the back of the guitar was routed out for tuners. The original serial number section of the headstock is drilled into the guitar to complete the look from behind. This guitar utilizes 3 gearless Steinberger tuners and 3 Kluson style. Okay, I see. The guitar plays well and stays in tune for the most part. You've got to tweak it quite often, but since the original bridge posts were left intact, that gives you some options as far as correcting the string angle to make this a recording-worthy guitar. As it sits now, it's a lot of fun to play, and it's definitely an attention getter at a gig. Wear and tear all over, you can see that during the condition portion of the video tour. So there is a video on this, so you can see, even in the picture that I picked, it looks like there's some definite wear on the body.
So what's your hot take? What's your first thoughts?
My conclusion, or rather their conclusion, is this guitar is famous. Everyone around the world that is into guitars has seen this at some point in time. It would make a fantastic addition to your collection. There might be other imitations made of this guitar, but this is the original Headless SG. So my hot take, this came up, and the reason that I wanted it on our show, because I've been seeing a lot of like hate about this and how dumb it is and whatever.
People hating a guitar?
I think this is really cool.
I like it as well.
Well, here's my counterpoint, guys.
I don't like the back of it.
I like it too. And honestly, looking at this thing, I kind of wish there were more Headless SGs out there, like production level Headless SGs.
Yes, that stayed in tune, because he said it had some tuning problems. Like,
yeah,
if this stayed in tune, it'd be great.
That's the solution to the Gibson headstock break.
Oh my god!
Just get rid of the headstock. I'd like to see a more like production version of the tuners. Like, I get it for this guitar. Like they mounted the headstock into the body. Like, I get it. It's clever. But I'd like to see a legitimate behind the bridge tuning system.
Well, I think what I like about this though is the gimmick.
Yeah, of the headstock being back there.
The gimmick is fantastic for this one guitar, but I wouldn't want to see it on
a
production guitar, or even like more guitars that are one-offs or something like that.
Right.
I would even like to see a kit where, like, if your headstock does break off, you can like put a kit nut on the headstock of the guitar where the headstock would be, and there's like a drop-in kit that would go on the stop tail to allow you tuning. Like, I'd love to see that. I think this is a really cool look.
You need to delete that, and you need to talk to an engineer and patent that.
Oh gosh, I'm not going to do anything.
I'm stealing that. Are you cool with that?
Okay, you steal that, Co.
Okay.
You're going to make a kit to like convert an SG to a headless guitar.
Any stop tail piece guitar, yeah.
Or Les Paul, you know.
Yep.
A tuning kit for the stop tail. It's
done.
Not a bad idea. But I just think it looks good.
I have 2 weeks.
Yeah, before this publishes. I think it's a really cool look. I think the headless look looks great with the SG body. I don't know if it would look as good with like a Les Paul, but for the SG, it works.
Yeah, it works there.
And I think, like, looking back, that's really my biggest problem with headless style bodies. Headless guitars, the body is usually kind of ugly.
Yeah, they're usually trying to go for a minimalist thing overall, and it's too minimal.
Or like super modern.
Yeah.
Where like the SG body just works with it for some reason. It looks right.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I really do.
I have no problem with it at all. Steve went to the bathroom, so he can't chime in.
My favorite comment I've seen about this thing so far.
Lay it on me, man.
Was, why'd they put it on the headstock rest? Like the little tripod thing in the picture there. Like,
yeah. Yeah. The guitar's floating up on a little tripod thing so that that normally you would do that so that the headstock doesn't have pressure on it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, man. What do you think, Steve? You're back from the bathroom. I'm sure you have fresh thoughts.
I think I pretty much got everything out that I wanted to.
In the bathroom, yeah, but what are your thoughts?
Overall, I don't know. I think one of the things is they're really relying on the gimmick of this being one of a kind and this being like in internet lore.
Sure.
And this is one of those things where it's like, I think I've seen it before, but I never really processed it because it's kind of like a meme, but it's like, this isn't being listed at peak meme.
Sure.
You know, so
I mean, do you think
the price is ridiculous?
The price is ridiculous, right? And how do you spell that, Steve? No E, you said?
No E.
Okay.
No E in ridiculous.
No E in It's ridiculous to put an E in ridiculous.
Yeah.
How would you even pronounce that?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's why people think there's an E, because they pronounce it ridiculous instead of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who does that?
But what do you think this should go for? What do you think the price should be?
Well, so that's the thing is like they're saying it's internet famous, so it's like $2,500. If it's not internet famous, like I don't know, 800, 1,000.
It's a clever way to fix a headstock.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work done, and I respect the work. I guess.
But he admitted it's not a 100% playable, giggable guitar.
Yeah,
it sounds like it needs constant adjustment.
Yeah.
Well, how constant is constant? Because like I've only ever played a handful of guitars that I didn't have to retune like halfway through. Maybe I just have crappy guitars,
or you suck at playing them.
That's also
possible. I mean, I say I'm very heavy-handed, so I kind of get that, but
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a little neurotic. And I feel like I always have to check the tuning halfway through anyway. So like, unless it was drastically falling out of tune, like every song,
right. I have a feeling those gearless tuners are the biggest issue.
Their Steinberger gearless tuners are designed to be that way. I'm pretty sure that's like the tuners that are on the Firebird.
Right, but I've heard people complain about those.
Yeah,
like they're not always great. But they're a cool look. They look awesome on Firebirds. But I bet that they're less stable than the traditional tuners that are on there.
Oh, sure.
Which is why I'm saying I want to see a tailpiece that has all the tuning hardware on it. Like instead of having a headstock.
Quit talking about that idea.
Set into the body. And there's no way that anyone would be able to get their act together in 2 weeks to, do the legal work to make sure that they own that idea and are prepared to produce it. Damn it. I'm just putting it out there. Like anyone could grab that idea and just run with it and probably make like
hundreds of dollars.
At least hundreds of dollars after years of just really frustrating work.
Yeah, they could spend hundreds of dollars to find out that somebody already owns a patent to it, but is not using it.
Exactly. And then you could offer to buy that patent, but that person doesn't answer emails.
Right.
So
unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Next